Hello, welcome to Locked on Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite tanking team in the Bay Area. And this is episode 700 for Locked on Sharks, at least since I've been on. So that's, before JD, after JD. But anyway, 700. So we have a special guest on to talk stock up, stock down, and, wherever our conversation takes us. So all that and more on today's episode of Locked on Sharks.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor at Fear the Fit and San Jose Hockey Now. And joining me, the original content boy, Kyle Demetrius. Kyle, how's the future?
It's sunny.
Yeah.
And I am special. Sorry, I got distracted by the sun. It's very nice. Yes. Well, there's like a funny shaped cloud over there, and I'm just kind of watching it.
Are you sure it's not the Prime Minister walking by?
No, he lives in Sydney. Actually, he doesn't even live in Canberra. What a lackey! He just lives in Sydney. The place that he lives,
he's constantly just like on a floaty, hanging out in a pond, right?
That's
what the TV.
I love
me.
That GIF. Yeah, I love that GIF. And actually, the Prime Minister lives in a really funny spot. He lives in it's called Barangaroo.
That's not a real.
Because everything is made up here. Nothing is real. I went to a place the other day called Kangaroo Point. Not even.
Kangaroos. Is it like makeout?
No, there was no kangaroos.
Oh, this is disappointing. I was hoping to be like makeout point, but for kangaroos, but no.
No, but I really want to touch the inside of a kangaroo's pouch, and I don't know if that's even possible. But The Simpsons told me it was slimy, but Australians have told me it's not slimy. It's just like cozy in skin. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to touch the inside of its pouch. But anyway.
I would too. Anyway, stock up. So we're going to play one of our favorite dumb games we used to play when we were trying to come up with content.
Dumb.
And so we're going to play stock up, stock down, which basically we're just going to jump off on topics and kind of, especially the Sharks are 30 games in. We've had enough of a sample size here to kind of see how we feel about this team and where the direction of this team is going, directly towards a top 5 pick. But Kyle, since you're the guest, I'll let you kick it off.
Going a little
negative as Kyle.
No. We'll get there. It's actually, I'm going with a stock up. And the stock up is Marc-Édouard Vlasic's tenure on the San Jose Sharks.
That is, I have to agree.
There's two reasons. There's two fundamental reasons why I think Marc-Édouard Vlasic is just seeing out the end of this contract, and or the last season or two he'll go on to Robida Island onto LTIR. But I don't think he's going to get traded unless somebody comes and offers you something for him. You just send him away.
To leave. Yes.
Does he have a no trade clause?
He has a no movement clause, so they can't even. Yeah. So he has to be the one. Yes.
Yeah, so somebody comes to. I'm sure if they were like, "Hey, listen,
Montreal wants
you."
What if they just lie to him and say it's Montreal, and that he's like playing in like for the Winnipeg or something like that?
Oh, like when Dadonov got traded to the Ducks.
And he was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
I wish, but okay, if Montreal wants him, which they probably won't, but maybe in like a year or two's time, he realized a contender maybe wants him for something. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But I think he's going to live out this contract because, the Sharks are very, very bad. Yes. And so there's no point in buying out his contract and eating all of that cap for like 6 years or 5 years or 4 years or whatever the extra is. I think right now it would be 6 total if they bought it out next year.
Yeah.
He's got 4 left.
Yeah. He's got 4 including this. So, yeah.
Okay. So it'd be 3. So it'd be 6 years. So you eat some cap for 3 extra years. There's no point when you're this bad. Just keep him because they're not going to be contending next year. And you're probably not going to be contending the year after, which means in that last year, then you can buy him out and have 2 years, or you could just let him play and deal with it because you're probably not going to be amazing by the time. You can do whatever.
Yeah,
but just
a lot easier to manage that contract. Yes,
exactly. The other reason is that he's actually playing all right.
If you don't look at the salary, you're like, okay, I could deal with. I know he got him and Benning got caved in yesterday against the Coyotes. They were the only negative.
I truly do not care what any chart or anything says about Matt Benning. The dude is not good. He's polarizing, I guess, but no.
I think he kind of has. He has he gets the highlight reel. He gets put on other people's highlight reels a lot, but he plays pretty steady. But yeah, he's definitely on the highlight reel for other players a lot. But back to Vlasic though, his numbers are palpable. If you don't look at the $7 million that you're paying him to be, basically your fourth defenseman, he's playing a lot better, and which we were talking about beforehand. My biggest takeaway through this year, I'm gonna Strays right here. Stock down. Bob Bugner. This team, they're bad. We know this, right? They're bad, but I know there's new faces, especially in the bottom six and stuff, but
all those guys are the same guys. All the bottom six guys that had before, the bottom six guys, they're just different names on the backs of the same concept.
Yeah, basically. But this team is just more entertaining to watch than the slog that we've had to watch the past couple of years. And they score a lot of goals, they give up a lot of goals, but it's not like, oh man, I hope we get a goal tonight. It's like, oh, I think Timo's going to score. I think Horder's going to score. I think Carlson's going to get 3 points. And usually that happens. They also give up 5 goals a night, but they're a way more entertaining team. And I think David Quinn so far, I guess it could be kind of a little stock up for David Quinn, who a lot of people were just like, oh, this is a terrible hire, but the Sharks, they're at least more entertaining. The big thing will be, how does he mix in the young players, which is always his big problem with the Rangers. And then what happens when expectations are actually on this team to win games in a couple of years. But poor Bob Bugner catching strays.
Whatever. Stock down on Bobby B. Did you know he's an assistant with the Red Wings?
Yeah, I know. He kind of got the shaft there, getting let go late into the off season. But yeah,
I don't care. Whatever.
He still got paid. It's not like his contract expired. He still got paid for. Yeah, he still gets.
Yeah, it's not like he's a plumber. That needs us to support his family. He was an NHL player and then became an NHL coach. So it's whatever. Try me the world's smallest violin. Does it suck on a kind of a human level? Sure, whatever. But he's fine.
He could have
proving just how fine he is. He is an assistant coach in Detroit.
Yes, well, Detroit this year's been they're
figuring it.
Yeah. So before we continue with more stock up, stock down, with good friend of the show, Kyle Demetrius, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you guys by our good friends at BetOnline. You guys know BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs and information. Get all the latest odds and trends with every professional and amateur league out there. For pro football, you got college bowl season. Big fan of college bowl season. Who doesn't like coming home and watching a random college football game on a Tuesday afternoon? It's the best. Highly recommend it. There's basketball. You have NCAA. You got NBA. World Cup. We're getting to the finals this weekend. They've got you all covered over at betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, which you do because you're listening to one right now, they got those as well. The fastest and easiest way to get your betting information. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, Kyle. Who's your other stock down?
No, I had stock up on Vlasic.
Oh, who's your stock down?
Stock down, Kaapo Kahkonen.
Yes.
Woof. He's Reimer got hurt. They should probably unload. Hot take. They should unload Reimer as soon as they can.
Before he gets hurt again.
Yes, he's very old, and some team that can I don't know, a Colorado, but they have Francouz and Gorgiev.
The Kings.
Toronto.
The Kings.
Yes.
Who are playing the the worst goalie tandem in the league with Cal Peterson and Jonathan Quick. Cal Peterson, who got waived, went to the Reimer, especially if you get one of those juicy Kings prospects. They are loaded with prospects. I don't even care about the pick. I'd rather have the prospect actually from the Kings.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, Samuel Fajimo's right there. But
Tobias.
Oh yeah, get a D. Yeah, get a D. I don't.
We got Tobias on.
That'd be amazing. But before he gets hurt, and you can maybe pull a little bit more from a team right now or right after Christmas, because let's be real, the Sharks right now, as the standings go, just raw standings data.
Oh, you're Thursday, so you let us know how the wins.
Oh yeah,
go.
Nothing has changed too much at the bottom here. I'll let you know the tips. Raw standings data. They have 25 points. They're 28th, which means that there's only 4 teams below them. Then, when you dig a little deeper, they've played 31 games, which is the most in the league, I think. Everybody has games. Yeah, everybody has games on hand, everybody has games in hand against them right now. Like, for instance, the Coyotes, who they just barely beat, are 3 points behind them, but they have 4 games in hand. The Blue Jackets, let's think about the Blue Jackets. When you think of the Blue Jackets, what do you think about? Bad, injured, not going anywhere, hoping for Bedard. They're only 3 points back of the Sharks, and they have 3 games in hand. The Blackhawks have 18 points. They're 7 games back, but they have 4 games in hand. So by points percentage, they are ahead of San Jose. San Jose is 31st in points percentage. The only team that's not ahead of them is the Anaheim Ducks, who have 17 points in 30 games.
And 1 regulation win, which I cannot get over.
They have 5 regulation and overtime wins, 4 of them being in overtime, and then they have 2 shootout wins. They're so bad. Again, they're so bad. The San Jose Sharks have 10 wins total. The Ducks have 7. So, bringing this all back around, keeping Reimer on this team is either doing one of 2 things. He's helping you win too many games and pulling you out of your true standing place, or he's going to get hurt or something, or you're not going to get as good of a return. Just try to get rid of him. You have Kahkonen, you have McIniemi, you have
Dell,
you have Aaron Dell. I can't believe we're still talking about Aaron Dell in 2022. Trade Reimer now. Even if you get like a 3rd and a 7th or something, anything, try to get as much as you can now and get him out of there before something bad happens. If Reimer gets hurt and he's out for season, or he's got a pretty bad ankle injury or shoulder injury, something like that, and he's not tradable.
Or just fatigue because you play him 13 games in a row.
Yeah. He's just going to be gone in free agency, and he's a veteran that deserves another shot at the cup. He's a good person wherever he goes.
Yep.
Get him gone. Like there's no point. Like, if anybody looks at those stats I just gave you, San Jose is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 7th in goal differential at -16. 7th. And the only reason they're that way is because they score. They have 96 goals, but they've given up 112, which is 3rd worst.
Yes.
So
where's 96? Where does 96 put in that? That's for a team that's as bad as the Sharks are, they score a lot of goals. Like they do score a lot.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I know
7,
October was brutal for them. Like, they didn't score at all, but like
they're 14th in goals for.
So
even their best thing, they're topping out at 14th. Actually, I guess their best thing's penalty kill. They're number 1. But their thing that they're good at, offense, they're 14th. Stock down on Kahkonen, because I don't think he's it, and he did not play well. Could he round into some form? Sure, but we did this last year when I was part of the show, where it was like, which Kahkonen are we getting? Shutout Kahkonen or loser Kahkonen, who gave up 2 soft goals and they lost 4-1. Not that he's a loser, but remember when he had the shutout against Calgary, I think, to open the season or something like that, and we just hung on that for months, being like, that guy exists.
Or that was Aiden Hill. That was Aiden Hill. But no,
really?
Aiden Hill, who's doing really well in Vegas. But even when Reimer was gone, like, Kaapo Kahkonen got a shutout against the Canadians, and still in that time had a save percentage under 900, like with a shutout included in there. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And anybody who thinks this team is going somewhere this season, just you can just give it up. It's fine. They're entertaining as hell to watch. They score a lot of goals, and they have good players. Well, they have like 3 good players, but they have entertaining guys. They're just gonna lose a lot. So
if you're gonna lose, at least score a bunch of goals. And having Dell and Kaapo Kahkonen back there playing and then if you want to bring up McIniemi whenever, or Straussman, or whoever you want, if you want to bring up those guys at any point, like having those guys back there, that's just going to mean you're going to be playing a lot of entertaining 6 to 5 games because 1, you can't stop a nosebleed, and 2, like we've seen this team's offense, especially since November 1st, where they've, I think dealing with the trip to Europe and so many compacted games in such a short period of time to start the season, especially with new coaching, all that fun stuff, right? But now that they've kind of figured things out, they've gelled, they figured out the power play. Yeah, this team's offense is pretty, it's top of the third. I know you have them at their rankings right now, the 14th, but like since November 1st, this team is a top 9 in goals for per game. I know their schedule is a lot softer, but
I'm still a little out on it because their schedule's been pretty soft, and
it's tissue soft recently. Yeah,
whenever they come up against a good team, they kind of just like pack
like Toronto, they scored 1 goal against Toronto, and
exactly the Kings, they scored 2 goals. The Kraken, they did end up scoring 5.
They scored a ton of goals.
1 goal. The Knights, they scored 2 goals, and I mean, like
they did have 5 goals against the Knights.
Not since November 1st. The big one would be Dallas, who they beat 5-4, but it was Jake Ottinger's first game back, and they scored 5 goals and 18 shots. So I'm still not super sold that this offense is solid. I think that kind of takes probably one of us to the next stock up, stock down. Stock up on the Stars, stock down on the rest of the roster. Because if Timo, Karlsson, Hurdle, and
Couture,
here we go, no, Barabanov aren't working it, nothing's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Couture in there because the Couture Barabanov, like those guys together work really well.
But one of them works well without the other one, and the other one doesn't.
The other one works okay. One of them works okay without the other one, and one of them works terribly without the other one. But together they form a Voltron line, having to drag Matt Nieto scoring machine. It's whoever's playing with those 2 guys as a scoring machine, right? We've seen Matt Nieto has 6 goals or whatever this year. Nick Bonito, taking the place of Matt Nieto, now has scored 4 goals in 4 games. You tell me Thomas Bordeleau couldn't play with those guys and score with those guys, or William Ekman couldn't play with that line and score with that line, but alas, here we are. But I think though, I mean, this team is very, very top heavy, and those guys have come out to play, and that's something we haven't really seen in previous years, especially with Karlsson being hurt a lot. Hurdle last year doing, I think the contract kind of weighed on him, the decision with that, and we've seen him come out this year, and I think both with Timo and Hurdle, kind of after that first 10 games of dealing with stuff and then kind of getting into the flow of the season, they've been much better and have been the engine of this team. And that Hurdle, LeBanc, Meier line is, I think, 9th or 10th in the league in Corsi 4 this year. Like that line has been the engine for this team. And Erik Karlsson has been what you and I have always believed in. Us defending Erik Karlsson, the Erik Karlsson propaganda, full force this year.
Goals on the team.
What was that?
He's 3rd in goals on the team. He's got 12.
It's ridiculous. 3rd in goals, like 1st in the NHL among defensemen. Just ridiculous what Erik Karlsson is. Before we continue, more stock up, stock down. Do want to let you guys know about, of course, very important message from the National Highway Transit. So this holiday season right now, you're out going to parties, having a couple. Now's the time to just take a moment before you get in the car and realize, like, are you actually okay to drive? Everyone knows the risks of drunk driving. The results are tragic and often deadly. However, that doesn't stop everyone from getting behind the wheel while under the influence. That's why police officers are out there right now looking for impaired drivers on our roads to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few, think again. Play it safe, plan ahead, get a ride. It takes one mistake to change your life or someone else's forever. So drive sober or get pulled over.
Let's play a little game right now.
Okay.
I'm for you. Don't look without looking.
Okay.
Who has more points, Scott Harrington or Noah Gregor?
Scott Harrington.
Correct. Who has more points, Nick Cicek or Noah Gregor?
Cicek.
Who has more points, Jonah Gadjevich or Noah Gregor?
I'm going to go Gadjevich.
Who has more points, Radim Šimek or Noah Gregor?
That's Šimek.
Noah Gregor has 1 point.
Yeah, he's been.
I honestly thought he had like 7 or 8.
He had one super awesome goal. It was a really nice goal, and he's been a healthy scratch like for the rest of the, how many games? I think he's played like. I think he's played like 5 or 6 games. It feels like he has not played a lot of games. So
14.
He's played 14 already.
14 games.
Noah Gregor go blur.
He's how many games do you think Oscar Lindblom has played?
He's played all but like 3, and he does not have
30.
Yeah,
he's played all but 1.
I know he was supposed to be a healthy
Poor
scratch,
guy.
and then somebody else got hurt. But yeah, poor Oscar Lindblom.
Poor guy.
I thought he was going to be impactful this year.
Yeah, Nico Sturm is who we thought Oscar Lindblom was going to be, but yeah. Sorry, I just want to play that. Little
That's a fun game.
Who's your stock up, stock down, or what?
I'm going to continue our comment. Stock up, Erik Karlsson. Oh God, so good. We haven't got a good Erik Karlsson rant. So Kyle,
wait, what am I supposed to be doing? You just let your accomplishments sing. There's no need. There's no need. He's out in the world. It's a beautiful sight. There's no need for me to have to talk about how good he is to people that just want to jump on there and say he's a waste of time. That guy that hates him on Twitter hasn't been around in a while. I wonder where he's been. Maybe he's suspended. Who could possibly
deleted his account.
I hope so. Erik Karlsson rocks. If Ottawa or another team really, really wants him and wants to trade for him, if they're offering you like a 7th round pick, you just take it. As hard as that is to say, you're gaining $11.5 million in space for the foreseeable future. It just allows you to do some other things. And I don't know what they're going to do with that space, but I just hope they don't get clouded. No. Remember when people said that Luke Cunningham was going to be like a 25 goal scorer? He's got 5 in 30 games.
Oh, yes. Also, definitely well worth the 3rd round pick that you traded for.
He's on pace for like 12.
Yeah. And has a ton of penalties as well. So,
yeah, he's a poor man's Evander Kane. And by poor man, I mean he does not score goals like Evander Kane does.
But richer than Evander Kane.
That we know of. I think stock up. I'm going to do a stock up here. We don't like. Do we want to talk about Erik Karlsson more? I can, but like I feel like he's
listen to any podcast I've done. It's yes. I wanted to give you the floor if you wanted to discuss Erik Karlsson because yes, as
no, I'm just going to tweet like I'm going to tweet like Erik Karlsson and me, and it's put in the handshaking meme. I'm just going to put that elephant that's like blowing himself picture. Stock up, Alex Barabanov. Dude rocks. He's got 19 points in 26 games. He's got 16 apples and only 3 goals, which I thought he would score more, but who cares? I personally don't. Alex Barabanov kind of rocks. And trade deadline?
Maybe. I mean, because his contract is pretty easy to fit in.
$2 million, isn't it?
Yeah, and if the Sharks want to eat, it's $2 million for 2 years, right? The Sharks want to eat. If they want to hold on to $1 million, easy, fine, whatever.
No eating.
Yeah.
Just take it. He's worth $2 million. We see dudes like this get traded all the time. Arturi Lehtinen got traded from the Habs. Armia got traded to the Habs. Like I think Nico Sturm probably got traded at one point. Victor Rask was in the Nito Niederreiter trade. Yeah, like all these guys get traded all the time. These $2 million, $3 million, $1.5 million guys that are quite useful to cup runs.
But no, if you want to eat it to sweeten that pot, though, I'm more than happy to hang on to that $1 million.
Yeah, it's one more year.
Yeah, one more year, $1 million. Who cares, right? But yeah, I think though with Barabanov, like him and Couture work so well because Couture doesn't have to do everything on that line now. He had such a revolving door of wingers where it was like Couture having to just drag people along. And Couture's not the same player he was a couple of years ago. But Barabanov, I think, his transition game, where especially if Carlson's not on the ice, Barabanov has kind of been the guy who's leading the transition in the neutral zone into the offensive zone. And he does that really well. His speed, his skill, and his I think his vision is so underrated. We see that especially with his passing too. And it just lets Couture to kind of like, okay, cool. I'm going to just go. I'm going to hang out in front of the net. I'm going to score the greasiest of goals. And that's what Couture does really well at this age, right? He's just look at all of his goals. Look at all of his goals. They're all like 3 feet in front of the net where it's, Barabanov doing stuff. And then Couture kind of gets to take all the credit for it. And then you have Nieto or Bonino just kind of hanging out there as well, scoring a bunch of goals for some reason. But Barabanov has really kind of energized Couture's kind of career here this season. It's been, since those guys have been put together, that second line has become much more formidable. And now Couture, now Hertl and Timo don't have to do everything. Those guys can kind of help chip in here too. So.
We're also like in year 3 of the Couture experience where he's really bad to start the season. Then November, December, he catches fire. And people are like, oh, yeah, he's just a slow starter. and then by mid-January, he's completely fallen off a cliff. It's tough. He's my age. We're the exact same age. I think I'm like a week older than he is, which means he'll be 34 in May.
Yeah.
I think this is what the time zone we're living in. And that this guy rocks 2-month stretch is probably like the window is probably shrinking.
But Barabanov now, he can at least like Barabanov, you go do some stuff. I'm gonna hang out here.
He's gonna have to be propped up because he's making $8 million for the foreseeable future. So whatever works to keep him going. But I feel I just think we're coming to the end of the Couture's playing really well right now mode. Because we saw it last year, we saw it the year before, and it's just the way he is right now. And that's where you're hoping maybe Barabanov, like having Barabanov be able to contribute on that line, can maybe draw it out a little bit more. So, but we'll see. Yeah, he's gone a little cold recently, but yeah, it's beginning. If you're Mike Grier, how many guys are you hoping to trade? Because if I'm Mike Grier, I'm hoping to trade Barabanov, bank.
Yep, that's not gonna happen.
Nieto,
yes, gone 100%. Bonino, gone 100%. James Reimer,
Svechnikov.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to trade him. He's not worth anything.
I'm hoping you can get rid of 5 to 7 guys. Because, like, if somebody came calling and said, hey, we'll give you a 6th-round pick for Jacob Megna, you just say yes, don't you?
Yeah, Jacob Megna's sneaky old. He's 30?
Yeah, I know this. This was my whole point last year. I was like, why are we playing him? Who cares? He's 1,000. I don't care.
I know Carlson likes him. So if you make Carlson happy, you know what? That's fine.
Oh, we're not doing this again. We did this with Brent Burns and the Brent Burns Whisperer. God.
He makes Carlson happy.
Yeah, okay, sick. But real assets, you could probably get like a real tangible things for.
And then we didn't even mention Timo, which.
Well, I don't think you're hoping to trade Timo. If you're Mike Grier, I think you're hoping to sign Timo long term and have him lead you to the playoffs sooner rather than later. If somebody comes along, a Toronto, something like that, and says, "Hey, here's Matthew Nyes, a third and another third," do you take it
for Timo?
Yeah, why not?
You have to get a 1st-round pick for Timo Meier.
Yeah, Toronto doesn't have one, but they have Matthew Nyes.
But I still I think you have to go. Then you get a 1st-round pick next year. You have to get a 1st-round pick.
But he's got to be signed next year. He's yours forever.
But you assume though, I assume a team that's going to be trading for Timo Meier. One, yes, he isn't signed, but you could still play the RFA game with him and sign. So you could get a year and a half out of Timo Meier if you really, really wanted to. But 2, I assume it'd probably be like the Mark Stone thing, right? Where they Vegas traded for him, and then like 20 minutes later, it's like, oh, here's your 8-year contract type of thing. I assume that's probably going to be the work, type of thing for a team.
you could take him for 1 year, like a Toronto,
Mhm.
and just try to win the cup, and then let him go.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, because if you win the
It
cup,
happens.
then it doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing matters.
Doesn't
after
matter. But
that. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think.
but I think if you win the cup with
probably
Timo,
better
then
than-
you're probably trying to run it back if you're that team, right? If you win
not
the
if you're
cup,
Toronto. God no. If you win the cup and you're Toronto, you're just resting on that laurel for another 50
for
years.
56 years,
Because literally does not matter.
For the next
you are
56
golden
years?
gods. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think you're hoping to trade away Timo. Like I think you're hoping to trade away like
those other
Reimer,
guys. Yeah.
Bonino, Nieto, Barabanov. Like Barabanov was only signed for a 2-year deal. Like clearly not part of the long term.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you have more
All
stock ups and stock downs?
That's it. Okay, I'll ask you one question because I don't know when next time I'll be able to get you on. Timo Meier is on what team on March 5th? I think the trade deadline is the 3rd.
Question that really embiggens the mind.
It's a pretty cromulent question if you ask me.
I was just watching Lemon of Troy. And one of the best parts is when they're like, "Oh, I hate those it's taken to Shelbyville," and Kirk's like, "Oh, I hate those people from Shelbyville." And Luann goes, "I'm from Shelbyville. My parents are from Shelbyville, Kirk." And he goes, "Oh, and it tears me up inside."
Curse those handsome devils.
It's so funny.
Answer faster, Kyle. They have the taste of meat.
When the metal creaks. I also like that Homer's so upset he goes to take a shower in the RV. Anyway, what team is he on March 1st?
He's got all the turkeys cooking too. Or all the
rotisserie chickens. Yeah, he's got like 4. Oh, sorry. He turns it all up. It's such a good episode. Is that also where Homer's like, "Where's Bart going? Our son's a tutor now." Teuton, son. Teuton.
I know Homer doesn't have many lines, but they're all bangers.
No, they're all gold. They're all gold. Okay, where is he March 1st? March 5th. Probably in his house. God, who's contending right now? Hold on. 2 seconds. This is good podcasting right now. Also, you're in a good spot when you don't care about the division wildcard or conference standings. You go straight to overall, right to the bottom. Dallas. Remember when everybody thought Pittsburgh was sucking and not very good, and they're 7th? Yeah. The Jets are 9th. Wow.
Yeah, the Jets sneaky good, and they've been
What if you extort Ron Francis in Seattle? No, Mike Grier. I feel like Mike Grier is an old school hockey guy and would want to trade him to the East.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say he's on the Florida Panthers. No, he can't. No, I don't think they have cap room. God, this is so hard.
The Devils,
no, we're not sending him to the Devils. We're not doing anything, actually. They're not sending him to the Devils. No, he would never do it. I was going to say the Islanders. The Rangers, screw it. He's going to the Rangers.
Ooh, they're going to get their offense struggling this year.
And they can give up like Zach Jones or like one of their random Brett. Here you go. Send them to the Rangers. Get Brennan Othman off of them, and then scoop up some other picks from them. Because I don't think they're going to trade Braden Schneider. They're not going to trade Keandre Miller. They're not going to trade. What if you trade Meier for Alexis Lafreniere?
Oh,
he's been struggling.
But then you have the Lafreniere Quinn. Lafreniere's going to be pissed having to go back to play for Quinn again.
But he's not a rookie anymore. He's entering his 4th year next year. Trade him for like Lafreniere or Kaapo. Kaapo Kahkonen hates Quinn. Don't trade for Kaapo Kahkonen. Lafreniere or Brendan Othman. One of these guys. Grab some picks. I'm going to say the Rangers. Broadway Timo. Just absolutely slaying models.
Yes.
City that never sleeps, and neither does Timo.
Timo, since you've gotten here, your play's gotten worse and worse. I don't know, man.
Goes over to Derek Jeter's house for pointers.
Yeah. Uh,
The
Devils,
Islanders are a fun one, but did the Islanders actually trade something for him?
Yeah.
I feel like
And then
Lou
you could
Lamoriello
have-
just doesn't know how to operate a phone. So,
it'd be interesting. So,
hold on quickly before we go. Bruins have no space.
Nope.
Devils, yes. I just refuse to
They
believe
do have
the Devils.
space, and
I can't stand the Devils. They're annoying.
I know, but I mean, like for some reason, I can't. I know. Coming from a very good source, the Holtz family and the Eklund family are like this, and I can't pick.
I wonder what your source is.
Yes, the Holtz family and the Eklund family are like very, very tight, and having Holtz and Eklund reunited and like.
Now, somehow they should get Lucas Raymond from Detroit to recreate because the Raymond and Holt were called the Terror Twins.
Mm-hmm.
But the Holt, Timo Meier for Alex Holtz and a pick. Sign me up. Alex Holtz can't really skate, but who cares?
If you have Eklund doing fun things and Holtz can just score.
So Bruins, no. Devils, hard yes if they can get Alex Holtz. Toronto, I just don't really see how they can afford him, first of all. And they don't really have anything to give up. I don't want Nick Robertson. Why would I want the inferior Robertson who can't even make the NHL? Vegas, they're not trading him to Vegas. Dallas, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to trade Western Conference. Carolina doesn't really have space.
And they've basically already said because what's his name's coming back in Carolina
Who?
Patches. So.
Oh, right. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's like their deadline acquisition. They've already basically said. So.
Very smart. Pittsburgh, love it. Find something for him. Their
prospect system is poop.
Is bad, but like grab a whole bunch of picks, whatever. Tampa, sure.
I would really if you get Pittsburgh, I would pick that first round. I'd push that first round pick as far back as you can.
Like 20, like 2 years from now.
You're just like, let's go, baby. That's fine. Hey, we'll check back in 2 years.
Classic OHL trade. Tampa doesn't really have the space. Don't know how they're going to do that. Winnipeg, sure, send them off. Seattle, love it, but I don't think they're going to trade Western Conference. Islanders, I think you could probably do a deal with the Islanders, but I don't. Their prospects, I think, are kind of shitty. And I don't really think Lamoriello is the kind of guy that goes out and trades for a pending RFA. Rangers, yes, that's my choice. Kings, never. Edmonton, they won't do it. Washington, don't really have good draft picks, but Ted Leonsis has said so long as Ovechkin's chasing Gretzky, he's going to go all in on the team.
Could you imagine Ovechkin and Timo?
No, because who would score? I don't want Timo to take away from Ovi. And then from there, we're getting into teams that like Colorado, no. Detroit, I would love it, but I don't really know. Minnesota can't. Florida can't. Calgary, no. Montreal. Now we're getting into teams that are bad.
Yeah. I know you wonder too, because like with Colorado, because Colorado's dealing with so many injuries though. But like if they start getting everyone healthy there, and then you have Timo.
I just don't see how they add him. Like they why didn't they just re-sign Kadri?
Or that Kadri got signed with the Flames.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kadri was all in Colorado. They could have just re-signed Kadri for cheaper than going to trade for Timo. I don't think Colorado's probably just going to run it back with their healthy.
Yeah, they're just like, once we get healthy, we'll be fine. Yeah. So.
What are we at? Like 45 days until McKinnon's back?
Yeah. What's the countdown? They're both coming back at the same time. So, all right, let's get out of here. This thing's too long anyway. All right, Kyle.
We can do it.
Where can the people find you?
When I'm not suspended from Twitter, at Kyle Demetrius. That's it. I don't have this podcast anymore. I don't write anything. I just exist online.
Just hang out.
I just hang out.
You hang out. Yep. You can, of course, find me on Twitter at MyFryHole, the show at Locked On Sharks on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can listen wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Odyssey, Amazon Music, you name it. You can listen there. Watch on YouTube. And we'll be back tomorrow to preview the weekend's games. So until then, bye, friends.
Bye.
You used to have funny things you would say at the end, other than just bye.
Oh, I can say something funny.
Nope.
Herpes.